So this month we've been doing a lot of talking. You've probably gotten emails, maybe seen videos where we've talked about neck pain and different ways to take care of neck pain, which is fantastic. But what about our babies? Do things happen in the neck of babies that can be helped by chiropractic? Well, we're going to talk about something called torticollis. Torticollis is a condition in a baby's spine that tends to happen as a result of some kind of birth trauma. It is traumatic being born. It's traumatic for baby. It's traumatic for mom. And so there are certain things that we can do. And so what happens, you'll know if your baby has torticollis, if most of the time when you're looking at baby, you'll see that their head is slightly turned to the side or slightly turned to the side and then rotated a little bit. And that position is happening because the muscles have gotten really tight in an abnormal way on one side in the neck. So it causes lateral flexion and rotation. And so you'll see that in baby, that position. And if you try to, change positions or do something different, you'll notice though their comfortable position will still be slightly rotated and bent over to the side. So what do we do about that? Well, there's a couple of things that tends to create it. There's a tightness in the sternocleidomastoid muscle. That name really isn't important, but it's the muscle that connects your skull to the front of your sternum. And so that muscle, as it gets tight, it laterally flexes and turns the head. And so we've got to release that muscle. We also have nerves that feed that muscle, usually coming right out of C1, C2. So there's usually an imbalance in the upper part of the neck. And so the way that we correct that is with a couple of things. One are adjustments. So we start with finding those areas that are out of position, and we work on correcting that. So a very gentle adjustment. Whenever we see babies in here, there's never any hard or forceful or cracking or anything like that. Adjustments are really, really easy. So, and a lot of our babies smile, kind of like this one here, it's so much easier to show you this with a doll than with a real baby. They're pretty darn wiggly. But so a very gentle adjustment to the area where things are out of position. And then there's certain exercises that we do that are going to help to improve the position of the head. So we'll talk about just a couple of them really quick. The first one, again, if baby's head is shifted over to the left and turn the opposite direction, what we want to do is get baby to kind of do the opposite of that. So we're going to hold baby on the left side if their baby is turned to the left. And one reason why we do that is because when baby's on the side, his natural desire is going to be to kind of pick himself up. So he's going to lift his head in this direction, which is great because that's what we want to avoid right now. That torticollis has baby with his head rotated this way. So we'll hold him on the left side so that he naturally wants to hold his head up. So that's the first thing that we do. And as baby is trying to hold his head up, we reach under with our other hand and we take the shoulder and we hold the shoulder, the entire shoulder pretty firmly, and we just gently pull back. We gently pull back this way. And so as we're pulling back this way, we're bringing the shoulder down as the head is turning this way. See? And so as we do that, we just gently pull about 5 seconds and relax and do that again 2 or 3 times. So you do that 5 seconds, 2 or 3 times. You repeat that a few times a day. And over time, we'll start to see some stretching of that muscle. Now, sometimes it takes a couple of adjustments to get that to really balance. Usually over 2 to 3 weeks, we're working with baby to get on top of something like this. And those exercises you'll actually do at home. You'll do them at home every day for a while until we start to see enough change. But when we put those pieces together, we can see some pretty fantastic changes. Some of the other things that we do is tummy time. Tummy time is really important. And so when baby's in tummy time, they don't really look like this because they're usually holding themselves up. They're holding their head up. And we want to activate those muscles that are holding the head up. And so typically what we want to do is, again, we want to see what direction is the baby turning his head more often. So we had this left bend and they were turning to the right. So instead of turning to the right, I want baby to start turning to the left. And so what we do is we position ourselves or other objects that are interesting over to the left so that baby will turn to look at them. And that's what we do. And there are a number of other things that we can do, but we're going to be real simple for today. Tummy time, have them looking in the opposite direction of that preferred imbalance that they have. And then while holding baby, the side that baby likes to bend his head, you'll hold them on that side so they'll naturally try to hold themselves up. You'll reach underneath, you'll take the shoulder, and you'll pull on the shoulder. You're not grabbing the hand and pulling on the arm. That can create a problem. You take the whole shoulder and you pull on that shoulder, and that will stretch out the muscles here. And over time, we'll see changes in this torticollis. And we want to make sure that we do that, because if you don't do it, we'll start to see things like a misshapen head. We'll see cranial imbalance, the eyes in the wrong position. All kinds of things can happen if this is allowed to become more serious, or if it's allowed to stay for an extended period of time. So as early as we can, we want to take care of this. So, all right, guys, I'm Dr. Emil Tompkins. Have a great day. And you've learned about torticollis. We'll see you on the next video.